Yo, and welcome to whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. This is a mobility workout, so not just flexibility. Mobility is the ability to stabilize and control your muscles through movement. This is yoga for people who don't necessarily like yoga. I myself have never been a huge fan of yoga. It was too slow paced for me. I wasn't good at it. I didn't have the flexibility, and it challenged me in ways I wasn't used to as a regular weightlifter resistance trainer. So this is kind of my bridge halfway in between. Full body. This should be a bigger challenge than you might think, and you should feel good at the end. Not exhausted, fatigued, but you should feel mobile, limber, comfortable. If anything is too challenging, I'm going to try to get modifications to make things easier and modifications to make things harder. The one piece of equipment you might need today is I do have a yoga mat and or a resistance band or towel or yoga strap if you can't get into any of the stretches we're going to do. So there's a combination of movements, holds, and stretches throughout today. First things first, I'm going to drop down on your knees. The tops of my feet are flat on the ground, pointed backwards. My quads are very tight after the workouts I've had this week. My shins, the anterior tibials, everything, my ankles, all these muscles are being stretched right now. So this is a challenge for me. If it is too hard for you, you can place your hands down next to the mat and take a little bit of weight off of your heels. If you're sitting on your heels, you're getting that stretch as intense as it can be. If that's too much, you can lean forward just a little bit like this. One thing that I like to focus on is wrist mobility because of how many exercises yoga and just resistance training in general has. We use our wrists a lot. So this is a great way to just prime them, warm them up, and get them ready to be used, and then hopefully make them feel a little bit better throughout the workout. So fingers together, grab your hands opposite and roll them in a circle. We'll stay here for about 30 seconds and then switch to the other side. A lot of today is going to be time-based, some things a little bit rep-based, a whole mix of types of movements. Let's swap and then rotate the other way. Again, if you're sitting on your shins right now and those feet feel like they're getting too big of a stretch, since now you can't use your hands as assistance, you can always sit up, lifting your butt off your heels, and take a little bit of a break on the tops of those feet. You can go back down any moment when you feel ready. Let's switch back to hand grip number one. Rotate back through it all. Back to grip number two. Next, I'm going to turn sideways so I stay on my mat. We're going to get into a tabletop position, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and then walk those hands a little bit farther or closer to your knees. So this will be directly under shoulders. We're going to go a little bit closer. We're now going to point the toes downward and then arch those feet. We'll rock back, stretching out the bottoms of your feet, and then priming those wrists a little bit more. We're going to lean forward, trying to keep those palms down, and rock back. Stretch, switches to feet, and then back to wrists. The format of today's workout, immediately following this, we're going to have an ab superset, so 2 exercises we'll do in sequence, back and forth. 3 rounds there. Then we're going to hop into a more mobility portion of the workout where we're doing consistent movement. After that, we got 2 static stretch holds because the muscles we'll have used are going to be a little bit tight and fatigued. Then we're going to have another mobility circuit, a little different format for that one. Then we'll do some static stretches and we'll call it a day. All right, stretch number 2. I'm going to jump up to those feet, deep squat, and then sit down on the ground, roll them back, try to be more graceful than that. Butterfly pose, I'm going to pull the soles of my feet together and press my knees towards the floor. We're going to start with some mobility and just flap those knees. If your knees are up here and this is all the range of motion you got, that's fine. Do what you can for right now. Try to get those knees as close to the ground as you're able, and then flutter for a bit. After fluttering for a bit, I'm going to have you hold that stretch at the bottom. Breathe, inhale, straighten that back. Hold the pose. Hold your toes. Let's go back to the flutter for just a little bit. Now that we're a little more mobile, try to keep that flutter lower than it was at the start. Opening up those hip flexors and adductors. Still keeping that back straight. Let's go back to a hold. One last thing, depending on your flexibility here, this could be easier, could be harder. Try to get your hands to the ground in front of you. If they're not as far away from you as mine are, that's okay. If they're right here, you stop there. If they're out here and you can go farther, go farther. Hold this for a moment. And again, that stretch, Really intense around the groin and the inner thigh. As you get more comfortable, try to drop the elbows down. If you have to come a little closer, that is okay. But let's rest down here for a moment. If you're someone like me and your workouts are typically very intense, you're going to be someone who finds yoga difficult to focus on and put effort into, stretching, all that stuff, because it is slow and it's not the same type of challenge as resistance training. But it is more important. Much more important. You must be able to recover harder than you can train. I've learned this the hard way. All right, let's slowly rock back up to a seat. I'm going to place my hands one inside my feet, one out to the side. I'm going to place those feet down and stand up slowly. Let's come all the way up to a stand. Shake out the quads. Shake out the legs. We're going to turn our toes outward slightly with a wide stance. A stance wide enough that when you squat all the way down, your knees are not going past your toes. If my knees are out here, I'm standing too close. I want to get able to keep flat feet. So stand wide, awkwardly wide. It's going to be uncomfortable for the hip flexors and the groin. And then we're going to shift side to side and stay low. If you've got knee pain and you're not able to stay down here, you can keep some weight on your hands. That way all the weight is not on your legs. But if you're able, try to keep your weight on your hand or on your feet. And we're going to shift side to side, staying very low. Similar muscles to what we just stretched with that butterfly pose, but a little different now. Rocking side to side. And notice I'm not going up in between. I'm staying level the whole way, drawing a straight line with my butt, as low as you're able. Let's do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up slow. All right, again, shake out those muscles. Here's what happens next. We're gonna have 2 exercises. One of them is single-sided, so I'm gonna say 3. It's gonna be 30 seconds of each. One of them is a static hold, the other one is a very slow movement. 3 rounds, 30 seconds, 3 exercises, 3 rounds. Exercise number 1 is a dead bug hold. The goal of a dead bug is placing your opposite hand against your opposite knee. My knee is pushing up, my hand is pushing down, so there's no movement. Notice my shin is parallel to the ground. The harder I push in, the more challenging it gets. My head is rested on the ground, my arm is extended behind me, and my leg is extended and up. 2 more things to note is that my lower back is pressed against the floor. I do not want it to lift. If at any point it lifts up off the ground, our core has been disengaged and we're not working correct muscles. So I want to try to keep that back straight or on the ground while pushing in, while arms are extended. One last thing, this is an exaggeration, but when we raise this leg, typically your hips want to twist to compensate. You might rock towards the leg that's straight. Do your best to keep those hip bones even, parallel, flat on the ground together. That'll be exercise 1, 30-second hold on each side. Exercise 2, you'll place your feet down. And then from there, I raise my shoulders up off the ground. I got an invisible rope right above the center of my head, and I'm alternating which hand is grabbing that rope. And we're climbing, we're going slow. Our shoulders never touch the ground. I'm always looking up to protect that neck, climbing that invisible rope, 30 seconds. That'll really burn that and sculpt that upper ab. All right, let's start with that dead bug hold. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Push your lower back into the ground. Make sure you feel those muscles engaged. You'll know you're doing it because it is not easy. If it is easy, you're not pushing hard enough. Hold and breathe. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, same thing. Don't expect round 1 to be all out maxed up. It should be a challenge, but it should not feel like you're about to give up already. Reminder to breathe. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees bent, feet down, shoulders up above the face. Climb that invisible rope. Shoulders never touch the ground. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the dead bug. Make sure that lower back is pressed against the floor or as straight as you can keep possible. Straight as you can possibly keep. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees bent, feet down, shoulders up, climb that rope. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final round. Abs are burning by now. Hey, Lou. What's up, buddy? How about you go lay down, okay? Good boy. It's getting harder to keep that back down to the best you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet down, knees bent, shoulders up. Last round. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Whew. Yikes. Tough start. That burned those abs. All right. From here, let's go back to that seated position. The tops of your feet flat on the ground, sitting on those knees, sitting on those heels. So, the next part of the workout, we got 4 exercises. We're going to do, if you want to count your reps, it's going to be about 20 reps. Otherwise, time-based, about 60 seconds, moving at a moderate pace. Speed-wise, so it should last about 60 seconds each exercise. Format is a stack. So I'll talk you through it the entire way we're doing it, but it's a great format, a stack. You'll do exercise 1, then 2, and then 1, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're done with that stack. So every round you add on a new exercise. And again, doing about 20 reps of each, or 60 seconds of movement. So I'm going to demo the exercises as they come up. That way, each time you get a new exercise, you do get a brief moment of rest between them. Otherwise, just a reminder, I'm going to say the name of it and start doing it, and then as I'm doing it, you might remember which one we're doing. Everything today is done gently and just done slow. So the first one, a little bit of animal-based movement here. We've got a loaded beast to a mountain climber. So loaded beast is very similar. This is child's pose. I typically have your feet flat, but I'm going to have your toes curled up under you. and your knees are going to be lifted off the ground. Arms extended in front of you. You're pushing your palms into the ground, trying to keep your back straight and low. And then from here, I'm going to rock up into a high plank and drive my knee right into my armpit. Then back down slow, knee into armpit. Let's get going. 60 seconds or 20 reps. 3, 2, 1, go. Nothing is done fast today. Remind that when you rock back, those knees are wider than your hips. Feet are fairly close together, almost touching. Nothing is done fast. You want to push your shoulders towards the ground and press your back away from the ground, almost rounding that upper back to drive that knee into that armpit. Let's do 5 more. And 5. All right, next one, we're lying down. You've got your armpit at 90 degrees and you've got your elbow at 90 degrees. So I'll quickly show you. If you're on the floor right now, elbow, armpit, 90 degrees, elbow at 90 degrees for both arms as you lie down. From there, for a scorpion tap, you're going to try to keep your face and shoulders as close to the ground as you can, raising one leg, opening your hip, trying to touch the ground. You're going to get a stretch in that chest and a very big one in those hip flexors. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Everything done slow, everything done gentle. Notice that when my foot touches the ground, my knee is almost pointed right up to the ceiling. It's not pointed towards the wall, it is opened up knee to the ceiling. Do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Loaded beast. That mountain climber. Toes curled, knees up. Drive your knee into your armpit. Begin right away. If you want the bigger challenge here, when you get to the top, drop your knee to the floor, raise it back up, then go back. Knee to armpit, knee to palm, knee to armpit, then go back. Do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next up, you've got upward dog, flattening those feet, curling those toes, rocking back into downward dog, trying to get those heels towards the ground, stretching out those calves, hamstrings, up into your glutes, a little bit in that low back, trying to push your face and your spine in line with those arms, and then rocking forward, dropping hips to ground, Uncurling those toes. Let's begin. If your heels can touch, let them touch the floor. If they're not yet able, mine or not, as close as you can. It should be uncomfortable, but it should not be painful. When you're in the upward dog, squeeze your glutes. Try to dig those hips into the ground and pull your shoulders backwards, not rounded, not shrugged, down and back. Let's do 5 more. Starting here. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. From here, we can lie down, go right into that scorpion tap. Lower your chest to the floor, elbows and armpits at 90. Raise your leg, point your knee to the sky, and tap the floor. Begin. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Loaded beast to mountain climb. Palms down. Get ready to curl those toes, rock those knees, lift those knees. Rock forward, drive your knee to your armpit, and again that modification up. It's tapping the ground or just below the palm. Slower is always better. You're going to find yourself getting tired and your body's naturally going to want to start doing things faster. When you get to that point, it is better that you rest than go fast. Or, if you're able to push through and stay steady, stay slow, you'll get the most out of it. Continue to move slow, even when your body wants to go fast. Let's do 5 more. Four and 5. All right, we're going to add in one last exercise to this group, and it is a forward pigeon fold push-up. So starting in this high plank, one of the last times we're in the high plank, you're going to bring from a plank push-up plank position. You're going to bend one leg horizontal, trying to bring your foot in line with your hand, your foot in line with the opposite hand, and your knee in line with the other hand. From there, You're gonna lower your body towards the ground, lifting your leg. If you can, fold all the way down until your nose taps the floor. From there, you'll recurl your toe. Press yourself back up and switch legs. Always trying to get all the way down, resting at the bottom. This stretch is for your glutes and your hamstrings. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. Pause at the bottom, especially for this one. We're not going fast. If you want, you can even lift your elbows. Lower down a little bit farther. Spend a little more time down in that stretch, especially if those wrists and hands and shoulders start to get a little fatigued. Give them a break at the bottom. Focus more on the stretch. Okay, this is for someone who does not like yoga. Even if you do like yoga, you might benefit from this one or enjoy it. But if you don't like yoga, keep your hands on the ground and keep going a little bit faster. Treat it more like an average workout. You're just challenging your mobility. We're going for about 30 more seconds. Could be 5 or 6 more reps if you're going the right speed. If you're doing holds, that could be 2 or 3 more. Just trying to end with an even amount of time on both legs. I'm going to do 2 more reps, pausing at the bottom for both. 2 more reps, pausing at the bottom for both. Spending about 10 seconds on each leg here. 10 seconds each leg. This is the last no exercise of the stack. This means we go back through all the ones we've done before. We're going to end it on this leg. When I count down from here, I'm going to bring my leg backward, curling my toes, and I'm going to switch to that downward dog, and we're going to go right into downward upward dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Back through it all. One last time. Again, trying to rock backward to get those heels towards the ground, rocking forward, lifting the toes, turning the feet, squeezing the glutes, getting those hips towards the floor. As you inhale, your ribs will go forward and your abs will allow you to stretch a little bit more. It is our last time through it all. I'm going to do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. From here, I'm going to lower my chest to the floor, elbows and armpits at 90-90, and we'll begin with that scorpion tap. Begin as soon as you're ready. Five more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're back to that loaded beast and mountain climber one last time. Curl those toes, rock back, begin as soon as you're ready. I'm going to do 4 more, and I'm going to hold it at the top. If you want to hold with me, I'll tell you when to drop it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more each side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time, other side. Last rep. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. All right. That is the circuit or the stack, part number 1. Next up, we got 2 static stretches. Challenge you a little differently. Let's come back to neutral, putting those toes backwards, tops of the feet down, butt on heels. So my mat twist a little bit. I worked so hard right there, but we've got 2 stretches. Both are single-sided, so we're going to spend about a minute in both stretches. The first one is a challenging one. This is the one thing you might need your band for. So if you do not yet have the flexibility to do it how I'm going to, a few ways to do it. We're going to drop down into a lunge or grasshopper stretch, whatever you know it best as. I'm going to bring my right, starting in tabletop, I'm going to bring my right leg in line with both of my hands. So my right leg in line with both hands. I'm going to raise I'm going to keep my knee on the ground. I'm going to rotate towards the leg that I brought forward. Video-wise, I'm going to do the opposite, just so you can hear me better. Left hand, the left foot in line with both of my hands. From here, I'm going to bend this knee. If I can reach it with my hand, I will. And the goal is to reach it on the side of the pinky toe or your baby toe. From there, keep my hand on the ground. I'm going to rotate and open up, straightening my back as much as I can. If you're not able to do this, you can wrap the band around your foot and pull the band towards you. After you get to the stretch, we're going to hold this for a little bit of time. This is a very tough one, really intense on the quads and hip flexors. If you feel like you can handle more with this stretch, bring the hand a little farther forward and then drop your hips towards the ground. Then pull that heel in and you're really going to feel an intense stretch. And again, it should not hurt, but it should be very uncomfortable. Should not hurt, but this stretch out of all of them is going to be uncomfortable. We're about 30 seconds in. We're gonna hold for 30 more seconds and we're gonna switch to the other side. Remember to breathe. Static stretches are for the muscles. Dynamic stretches, active movements, what we were doing before, is for the nervous system, the nerves, and the muscles. Nerves like movement. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release slow. And let's switch. Let's bring the other leg down. I'm going to face the other way. Bring my leg forward, twisting towards that leg, reaching back for that foot. Need a bigger stagger. Move things forward. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Reminder to drop your hips for that stretch to be more intense. And then pull that heel towards your butt as best you can. Rotating, trying to be a straight line from your knee, from this leg's knee, from the bent leg's knee, to your hip and to your shoulder. Should try to be a straight line. .30 seconds in. 20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently let go and drop it back down. All right. We're going to head back into another circuit. This time it is 4 exercises, 3 times through, about 60 seconds each. It's not a stack, so we go from exercise 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. And again, I'm going to demo them as they come up. So the round number 1, you'll get more rest time between the exercises. Rounds 2 and 3, you're not going to get as much rest time because I'm going to hop from one to the other to the other. First one, a few ways to do it with whatever space you got. I'm going to try to take advantage of the room I got here with my mat. It is a lateral gorilla walk. You need to have the flexibility to reach the floor, but you do not have to do it. You do not need the flexibility to do a straight leg. So if you need to, you can bend your legs. If you have wrists that are fatigued, they get injured, they're in some pain, you may not want to stay in your hands. So in that case, you can use your knuckles, more like an actual gorilla, and it also makes the stretch a little bit less intense because you don't have to be as far down to do it. But here's what's going to happen. I'm going to start with 1 foot off the mat, 1 foot on, opposite hand, in line with the opposite foot. And then I want to be light, graceful, and slow. I'm going to lift the outside foot first, and then I'm going to rock, jump and catch myself down with the other foot, and crawl along sideways. The goal is to keep my hands and feet as close as I can as I jump side to side. I'm going to do, with the length I've got here, not all that much space, I'm going to do 2 one way, 2 the other, back and forth. And we're going to go for about 20 reps total. Let's start with rep number 1. 3, 2, 1, and go. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Rest. Whew. All blood to my head. All right, next exercise. We're gonna go from a lunge to a forward fold. 1 leg forward, 1 leg backward. The goal of the lunge is that back heel lifted so you can drop down, tapping your knee to the floor, and then you straighten both legs and reach for the ground. We're gonna do 10 reps on 1 leg, and then a 30-second hold after doing our 10 reps. Then we'll switch legs, same thing, other leg. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. 1. Try to have those toes pointed forward. 2. When you reach for the ground, try to straighten both legs and get the back heel to the ground as well. 3. 4. If you're able, lift that front set of toes. 5. 6. You feel that line from that hamstring to your heel stretch more. 7. 8. 9, 10, hold it. You'll notice I'm on my fingertips. I can't get my palms down. Well, I can, that's just too much for my stretch right now. Welcome to the knuckles as well. "15 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Same thing. We'll hop right into it. 10 reps and a 30-second hold. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more. Hold on the 10th. 9, 1 more. Hold it here, keep that balance. And 10, hold. You'll feel that stretch from that Achilles tendon up the calves, back the knee, hamstring, glute. If you got tight hamstrings or a weaker lower back, you might feel some tension in that low back. Shouldn't be painful, but it should not be comfortable. Halfway, 15 seconds left. Now we'll come back up to that standing position. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up slow. Moving into exercise number 3. A little bit of plyometrics here. Going to challenge you differently. With all plyometrics, we do not go fast. We make sure we absorb, meaning you want to land like a ninja, land soft. You should almost not feel your feet or hear your feet touch the ground. We're starting in child's pose. Same as we sit when we warm up, tops of the feet down. Arms extended out front. We're going to bring them close together, almost touching, if not touching. You're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend my knees and my hips, flinging my body forward, and I'm going to land on my feet. Here's a demo exercise. You do not have to start just yet. Stay down, make sure you can see me. Jump, absorb, and land soft. From here, you can either jump or step backwards, landing on your toes, dropping your knees to the ground, then lifting, rocking back into child's pose. Option number 2, if you cannot jump, is to lift up, step forward, step backward, drop down. Let's get going. 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4. We're going to stop at 10. Here's my 6th. Well, that was my 6th. Here's 7. 7. 8. That was a bit of a hard landing for me. 9. Much better. 10. Landed at the back. All right, let's come back up to a stand. One final exercise for this group of 4. Reverse tabletop. So I'm going to drop down to a seated position, toes pointing that direction, fingertips pointing the same direction as toes. We're going to do 30 seconds of movement, or rather 10 reps, and then a 10-second or a 30-second hold. So 30 seconds of movement, 30-second hold, or 10 seconds, 10 reps, and a 30-second hold. Reverse tabletop, the goal, keeping my heels as close to my butt as I can to start, but taking a little bit wider steps so my feet are wider than my knees or wider than my hips. I'm going to raise my hips up, try to straighten, and then bring back down. If it's too close, step those feet a little bit farther away. And again, we're going to raise our hips off the ground, try to get from knee to hip to shoulder in a straight line. Here we go. 10 reps, 30-second hold. Go. As you raise those hips up, you should feel a big stretch in your anterior deltoid, the front of your shoulder. There's 2. Your bicep, the wrist, a little bit upper chest. 4, squeeze your glutes at the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hold it at the top. So we keep those feet flat, hips high. If your head wants to fall back, let it fall back. If you like looking up, keep looking up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's all 4. We got 2 more rounds of that, about 60 seconds each, or the reps, then the hold. Then we got all static stretches, and we're done for the day. So not too much more. Let's finish it out. Back to exercise number 1. We've got that lateral gorilla walk for 20 steps. To the edge of the mat. 3, 2, 1, and go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember to keep your hands as close to your feet as you can for a better challenge. Outside foot leaves the ground first. I'm at 12. And 20. Whew. Lunge to the forward fold stretch. 3, 2, 1, and go. Notice at the top of the lunge, shoulders over hips. 8, 2 more. 9, hold it on the 10th. And 10, hold. Halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. 3, 2, 1, and go. Six, 7, 8, 2 more. 9, 1 more. 10, hold it. Halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we've got that child's pose into the frog. Child's pose into frog. 10 total. Here we go. Let's add a hold at the end in that frog pose. So 10 total, then a hold in the frog pose. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, jump. Two. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. Good, buddy. 8. 2 more. 9. 1 more. Hold it on to 10. And 10. Hold it down here. Stay low. Hey, buddy boy, go lay down. Good boy. Staying low, as deep in your squat as you can be. If you're not this low, don't be this low. However low you can be while keeping feet flat, heels down, toes down is the goal. Hold for about 15 more seconds. We're back to that reverse tabletop. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. May as well just switch hands and sit back. Remember to have feet wider than the hips. As close as you can comfortably keep them to your butt. Mine aren't that close because I'm not that comfortable in that position. Fingertips to heels. 3, 2, 1, and go. 10 reps, 30-second hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it. Let your head be where it wants. This is going to end round number 2. And we're back to it off for one more round. Then all we got is stretches. I'm tired, I'm sweating. This has been a challenge. If you are too, it means you're working right. If you're not, it doesn't mean you're working wrong. It's your choice how hard you challenge yourself here. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Back to the top, gorilla walk, one more time. Try to get right into it, 20 reps here. 3, 2, 1, and go. Eleven, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Lunge to forward fold. Whatever leg you want first. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1. Lost the balance. 2. Keeping things slow. 3. 4. 5. Holding it on 10. 6. 7. 8, 9, and 10. Hold it. Fifteen seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Whoa. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, one more and hold it, 10. Halfway. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We've got a loaded beast to frog, 10 or 30-second hold at the end. 10 reps, 30-second hold. And not loaded beast, child's pose. Very similar though. 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, last one, hold it at the bottom, 10. Spend some time here. We got one exercise left of the circuit. We got a reverse tabletop, and we got some static stretches. Let me call it a day. Give me 15 more seconds here. I don't know if I'm reassuring you or myself, because this has been a challenge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, feet wider than hips. Fingertips point the same way as the toes. 10 reps, 30-second hold, and 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it, 30 seconds. Breathe. Everything after this is a whole lot easier. Shoulders to hips to knees, straight line. Remember to breathe halfway. 15 seconds left. Hold on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit. All right. Got a group of stretches. We're going to feel very good. We're going to stretch shoulders because no matter what we do, shoulders seem to be overused. So we're going to spend a good amount of time stretching those out today. First one, you're going to start in a kneeling position. Knees down. You're going to cross your arms under your chin, above your chest, staying on your knees. The top arm gets the better stretch. Crawl your arms as far past each other as you can. Press them into the ground. And you're going to feel that deltoid. Get a very good stretch. We'll hold, spend some time there. As you rock your body forward a little bit more over it, you feel that stretch get a little bit more intense. The more flexible you are, the more it feels like you're choking yourself when you do it. And when I count down, we'll switch to the other arm on top. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull your butt to your heels. Come up gently. And then alternate. Get the other arm on top. Cross them under. Reach past. Lean forward. You can tell that my left deltoid is much tighter than my right. The stretch is much more intense with my left arm on top. When I count down, we'll move into the next stretch for hip flexors. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Be gentle, coming back up. I'm going to bring my left leg forward. I want to try to keep my knee behind my hip, bringing my hips forward. And that way, I get a stretch in that hip flexor, that right side. Shoulders stay over hips. Bring your body forward. Once you got a nice tight stretch in that hip flexor, you're going to take that, whatever arm is backwards, bring it across you. Still stretching that shoulder. We're going to rotate away. We're going to hold that. Hold steady. Remember to breathe. Keep that core tight. Back straight. It's natural to twist and lose that straight back. And again, twisting. If you're not someone to twist a lot, like me, you might get some cramps in those muscles. That just means you got to be twisting more. Stretching those twisting muscles more often. What I'm doing now. I'm told my knee hurts on the ground right now. I'm told over time from doing yoga like this or just putting weight on your knee, it does build up some resilience against that. I don't know if that's true. Not been doing this long enough to find that out and be the case. You can always put a towel under your knee. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides. Gentle rocking back. Opposite side now. Bring it forward. Shoulders over hips. Knee behind. Raise that arm. Bring it across. Twist the other way. Remember to breathe. Oh, already cramping up. Sign you gotta do this more. Back straight, core tight. Fifteen seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna stand up here. I'm gonna have you take one elbow, bend it as much as you possibly can, grab it, pull it behind you, lean with that stretch. Hey buddy boy, you're gonna feel that stretch up those obliques and those lats into your tricep. 3, 2, 1, and go. Go lay down, bub. He didn't listen so well. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same thing other way. It's natural to focus the stretch here and forget you're working you're stretching your tricep too. Try not to forget to pull that elbow. Pull that elbow and you feel that all the way up here. Triceps are, again, a muscle often overused and understretched. Overused and understretched. If you've got bigger arms like me, it's a little more challenging to get your arm behind your head and find a comfortable position for your head. So I don't know what to tell you because I haven't figured that out yet either. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. That being said, 3 more stretches. Let's start with just some neck circles. Roll your head in a big circle. Let's keep going the same way. And I'll tell you when to switch directions. We got this. 2 more stretches. And we're done for the day. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change directions. We're doing 10 each way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whole lot of cracking going on in there. 9 and 10. 2 more stretches. Forward fold. For somebody who has a relatively unstable lower back as of right now, given the injuries I've had with nerves, hamstrings, mobility, flexibility, wildly important here. So straighten those legs as much as you're able. You'll never hear me to tell you to have perfectly straight knees. Try it today. Perfectly straight knees. Don't hyperflex, but straighten them as much as you can. Straighten your back and reach for the floor as far down as you can. We're going to hold at the bottom. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten back, come up halfway. 10, 9, 8, 7. I like to unlock my knees when I come here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I straighten them again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unlock the knee. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll all the way up. All right. One last stretch I'm going to ask you to do with me. We always end up here every single workout, no matter what workout we do. Feet about shoulder width or whatever's comfortable for you. If you're a woman, you might need to stand wider to get into this deep of a squat. I want you to squat down as deep as you possibly can with your feet flat. Our deep squat here. Kids do this. We should be able to move like kids. The whole goal of exercise is to be able to maintain and move longer throughout your life. A lot of what we do is to try to move like kids again. You can see kids sit like this all day. If you're having trouble keeping those heels down, there's a whole host of reasons that could be. One of them being feet mobility, tightness in the calves, ankle mobility rather, but even the bottom of the foot, flexibility in there. So it's something hopefully that the more often you do this, the better you get. The more mobility training you do, the easier this gets. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming. I hope this workout was a good challenge. I tracked it on my watch. It was about 68 minutes here. Active calories, I burned 440. So just so you know, this can still be a pretty intense workout. I don't necessarily believe that it needs to be. I do these as recovery workouts, alternating with my resistance training. So my goal is not necessarily to burn a ton of calories. But just know that if you put the effort in, you absolutely can. And the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. So it is easier for me to burn a lot of calories than someone who has less muscle. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the hard work. And have a wonderful day. Can I get 2 claps on 2? 1, 2. I screwed that up. I normally do this in person. Can I get 2 claps on 2? 1, 2.